Welcome into the Command Center podcast. I'm Logan Paulson here with Fred Smoot with a sick V-neck.
Yeah,
with
a collar on.
And then also Santana Moss. I mean, looks like this dude's in like Miami Vice or something over here, right? And I told him, Tana, if this thing was a little bit lower, we'd be cooking.
Who do you think he is? Let that chest hair out. You know, I'm one of them people, I wear white after Labor Day, you know? People always say, how could you do it? I say, why not? Who made that rule up and why is it a rule?
First of all, you got the audacity to come here and show all that neck.
Listen, all of it. In this glow, I got that Merton Hanks going.
Move that mic. Look at that neck. If you're watching on YouTube, look at that man's neck.
It's 30 degrees outside. He got neck. He all neck.
I saw him
have a scarf on.
Came in his Maserati today with that deep neck and the sunglasses on. I was like, man, this guy is
like it's 90 degrees outside.
What is this dude doing, man?
So, okay, Tana, you told me a story while we were getting ready in our production meeting. And Fred is always doing crazy stuff. So if Fred said, I'm doing I went to the zoo and I rode an elephant, I'd be like, cool, whatever. Yeah. That's something that Fred does.
I did.
Took the red eye out of L.A.
Yeah.
And then did a dog show.
Did a dog show, man.
So what is going on with that?
What career plan was this?
You know how they say?
Did you hear about this?
No, he was telling us about it.
You know how they say Trick love the kids, Tanner love the dog.
Ain't nothing wrong with it.
I didn't even realize you were a dog lover like that.
So it's crazy. I didn't either. But honestly, I think like I told them, I have a dog. So it wasn't.
What kind of dog you got?
American Bulldog.
Okay. Yep. Is that the one that's like
American Bulldog is bigger than the English. The English is
it's like it looks like kind of like a pit bull, right?
Bingo.
Yeah.
Bingo.
Bigger version.
Bingo. His name is Duke. My nephew probably looking at me like, that's my dog, but he's at my house and you going. Yeah. But honestly, I got a text from Tony Richardson, fullback. Played it.
I played with Tony in Minnesota.
And we talked about you in Minnesota. He talking about, I play with that Smoot boy. You ain't lying about him.
I love Tony.
I brought your name up, bro, because we were talking about, just the fellas and the camaraderie and stuff like that. But I got this text from him saying, hey, man, these people looking for you. They heard you like dogs, and they want to bring you down to do a show. I'm like, all right, let me hear him out. He's like, hey, we heard you a dog lover and blah, blah. I said, well, I do have a dog. And I think,
But you said the people knew what kind of dog you had.
Yeah, I'm a dog. And I told him, I'm a dog lover by default. You know what I mean? Like my kid, well, it's crazy because my nephew brought the dog, but the dog shares a birthday with my son.
Yeah.
So it's like, I got to be a dog. I got to love Duke, Yeah. And I guess, it's something about dogs, something about animals, period. I was telling them, I say, it's crazy how Duke is at the house for so long, and my nephew's his owner. He knows it. As soon as my nephew leaves or whatever, go by his bed, he come back and forth. When I leave and I come back, you will never think that. You'll think that I've always been that dog's owner. Like, he gets excited when he see me, like he misses me and stuff like that. But it was fun, man. It was a fun outing.
So for the dog show, was this like Westminster where you're like showing the dog out, or were you doing?
So we talked a little bit. It was like a little
Q&A.
Night show vibe. Jesse Palmer was the host.
Pretty boy Jesse. Hide your wife.
Yeah, Jesse was there, and me and Tony was on the other couch talking. And we talked about our dogs, talking about, we watched some plays of the dogs doing tricks, kind of gave them a little, I saw a little Tyreek-ish in one of the dogs. I saw DK Metcalf in one of the dogs. Kind of gave him a little name, vibe. And then we basically, they asked me to stay after and take a dog through some tricks. Like
an obstacle course?
The obstacle course, yeah, so.
I could not imagine him doing that.
I can see him doing that.
I'm just one of those guys, man. I'm like,
he adapts well to any situation.
I'm a Gemini, which I don't understand.
That's what he gonna do.
I'm gonna break it in, right?
He gonna adapt to any situation. That's funny because today I'm going to pick up a dog for my daughter.
Are you really?
My oldest daughter. Wow. She wanted a dog, and she in college.
Wait, I was gonna say, is your oldest daughter in college?
In college, and I'm like, why do you want a dog? She's like, Dad, I want a dog. I need a dog. So I was like, it's fine. So I'm going to get her a dog. And see, my daughter, she's the one that goes left if I tell her to go right. Yeah. So she went to Ole Miss, all right? Yeah. To break my heart, got me paying tuition at Ole Miss. And she a Cowboys fan.
Right? Dude, she went really.
So guess what I'm doing to her? I'm buying her the dog today, but I'm naming the dog JoJo. All right.
Okay.
She ain't gonna know why I'm naming the dog JoJo. I'm actually naming it after Coach Gibbs. Right? She ain't gonna know it until it's too late.
So you think she'll keep the name, or you think what kind of dog are you gonna get?
Yeah, she wants a pit bull.
Yeah. Oh, like a big She
wants a pit bull.
I love pit bulls, by the way.
She said, I want a pit bull or a Dutch hound. And I was like, that's not
Question.
really comparable.
Yeah,
Will
like-
she be able to take it to school?
I know,
Yeah, she'll be staying because she don't live in the dorm.
Oh, okay.
She lives in like they got apartments.
Yeah.
Okay.
So she live in her apartment, her and her roommate.
Yeah.
And I thought to myself, like, yeah, why not get a dog? So at least the dog can protect her when
Yeah,
I'm not there.
Yeah. But so like,
You know, Florida have different rules. We can't even have pit bulls.
Yeah.
Like
Same
that.
thing.
Mississippi can.
Yeah, okay.
so my wife in college bought a dog, and she lived in UC Irvine. She went to UC Irvine, which is like Newport Beach, which is like one of the most expensive counties in the country. But she lives on campus housing, so she's paying like $500 a month in an area that's like $2,000 a month to live.
Yeah.
And I'm like, don't buy this dog because they're gonna kick you out of the house. And so she like smuggled this dog in and out of her apartment complex for like a year. Like in a laundry basket, she'd like everyone's like, why are you doing so much laundry? It's like, don't worry about it. But yeah, it's so funny how people like don't think about
What kind
it.
of dog was it?
It was a Shiba Inu, and if you've ever, did anyone know what that is?
Yeah.
So it's like a mini husky.
Yeah.
And basically, like, I didn't know this when she bought it, but we've learned since they are the most difficult dogs to train because they're the most like a feral fox.
So they still animalistic.
Oh
They still
my
hold on
God.
to a lot of
So
the old
you
traits.
buy this dog to, dogs are loyal. They'll come say what's up to you. This dog was like a cat. So you come home and you'd be like, what's up, dude? And you'd be like, hey, dude, come here. And he'd like just walk in the other room and go sit down. And you'd be like, all right, cool. And we had
got a squirrel
we had
instead of
we had this dog for 15 years, and like he was awesome. But man, like we could not get him to come. We could not get him to sit. And I was like, we take him to dog specialists, and they were like, nah, dog, we don't even train this type of breed. And I was like,
he was somebody reincarnated.
Definitely.
He might have been an uncle or grandma or
great uncle
somebody
that
else's uncle or
hate
grandma.
Logan.
Like,
Yeah.
man, I'm in these people's house as a dog. They got me effed up.
all right, so you guys are doing something pretty cool not this weekend, next weekend, right?
Yeah.
Washington Legends Suite Experience. Okay.
Yep.
And this isn't a read, so we're just going to kind of promo this on the
Let's do it.
fly.
Let's do it.
And the package includes, I guess, are you signing up for this, Jason? Like, what are you doing?
Yeah. You sign up. This is what it is. You sign up for it. You get into a sweepstakes. It's almost like a contest where me and Santana will come hang out with you in your suite, win, lose, or draw.
Okay.
We gonna talk football with you. We gonna sign autographs. We gonna sign scarves. We gonna get autograph balls, all kind of stuff. Maybe Jason Wright busts in with us. You never know. We might have a Logan Thomas with us or somebody. You never know.
So yeah, that's December 31st on the day of the San Francisco game. So you can get to learn about all these personality traits.
Yeah.
Tana is a dog lover.
Yeah, I love dogs.
Yeah, and so like you get to talk to them about that if you guys like.
And then you kind of take your mind off the game. You never know what may happen against San Fran.
Yeah, you never know.
I'm gonna put that out there.
All right, and then I think we got a Bet 365 read here too, right? Sorry, our producer's gonna go put that
Well,
up.
you know what? He's not on his game right now. It's Christmas time.
Yeah.
Well, this read kind of threw us off, and I'm glad you knew what was going on because there was nothing on that sheet.
Hey, listen.
It was just a picture of Fred flexing his bicep.
Do he ever not know something? I'm like, it's nothing up there that said any of that stuff.
he just
talked
knew all
about.
that stuff.
And he just went out there and said it all. Like,
It was literally just a picture of Fred,
That's Fred.
flexing.
You can visit commanders.com to sign up.
Oh yeah, you can visit commanders.com to sign up
most
for the
definitely sign
thing.
up for it.
Okay, and just
Fred done gave him the whole insight.
I know,
so
yeah, that was crazy. Like, I mean, that's the only thing you didn't say.
I didn't even know.
Hey, at the end of the day, we're here for each other, brother. We're here for each other.
And just also a reminder, we're brought to you by Bet365. At Bet365, we don't do ordinary. We believe every sport should be epic.
Yep.
Right now, new customers can choose between two offers when they open an account at Bet365. Use the QR code to sign up. Deposit 10 and choose between either. First Bet Safety Net offer, crazy name for a product, by placing a bet up to $1,000. And if your qualifying bet loses, you receive a match refund in bonus bets. Or bet and get offer and place a bet of $5 or more and get $150 in bonus bets. Whatever the sport, whatever the moment, it's never ordinary. Bet365, official sports betting partner of the Washington Commanders.
Hashtag disclaimer. Must be 21 plus and physically located in Virginia. Please gamble responsibly. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem and wants help, call 1-800-GAMBLER.
That was pretty good.
Yeah, I used to be Bob Barker.
We're getting.
Yeah, he getting better.
He's been reincarnated as Bob Barker.
He getting better. He's going away from that Fred voice.
Yeah.
It is Fred Smooth.
I give him my Alex Trebek. See,
I kinda feel like-
love Alex Trebek, man.
I kind of feel like you were reading like an audiobook right there. It was like kind of soothing, kind of relaxing.
Yeah, the Book of Smoot.
Book of Smoot. If there was a book of Smoot,
It is.
it would be full of bull.
No.
Jesse Palmer talked about your whole coming into the league thing, that you did this skit, and it was like at there, it was like, who you getting? He's like, Smoot. And he talked about, I was like, how you remember that, man? But I guess he's an SEC guy.
No,
so.
Jesse came out with us.
No, I know he came out with it, but I'm just like, how he remembers your whole thing coming into the
And that's so funny
league.
because we played Florida at Mississippi State that year when Jesse was starting.
Yeah.
Our game is the game that Rick Grossman got in because we picked off Jesse 3 times.
Wow.
Like I picked him off in the first quarter, first play of the game.
Wow.
And then we picked him off. So then Rex gets in the game. Him and Taylor Jacob started hooking up, and Jesse never play again.
Wow. I didn't know that.
So what was your bit? You were doing like what was this thing, Tanner, that you were talking about with?
I can't remember it all the way, but
it was like before the Florida game, me and Coach Spurrier had been going back and forth. So, like, in the media, because, you know, Coach Spurrier ain't backing down, and I wasn't backing down. So then, at Mississippi State, and ESPN hit me up, and we did this skit. And they were like...
With Coach Spurrier?
No, it wasn't with Coach.
Oh, it was
kind of like
to promote
coach.
the game or something?
Yeah, it was like it coach. And then they were like, well, who Jesse going to throw the ball to? Smoot. So who is Coach Spurrier going to be mad at? Smoot. Like, so then, by the first quarter, I already got an interception, 3 breakups, and I then took over the game already. So it was good. We blew them out about 46 to like 10.
Yeah.
I don't like you talking about Florida teams like that.
Hey, listen, I had it out for them.
No,
I always had it out for
I was
Florida.
at Miami, but I still had my love for FSU and Florida, man.
I had it out for Florida
boy.
team because I was mad because Florida State didn't recruit me.
Oh.
I was so mad because I always looked at Florida State and said there was Fred Smoot University, FSU. So I was like,
that's why they didn't recruit you.
so when they
You wanted to go there because of Prime. You wanted to wear that too.
You know I wanted to go there because of pride. And I remember meeting Tay Cody. He was the cornerback for him at the time. And I was like, Tay, you ain't better than me. And they recruited you. I'm going to take it out on every Florida team I see.
That's so funny.
And they want that Miami trouble. I wish we would
I wish we
would have played Mississippi State, boy.
Dude,
we was ready at that time.
We'd have dropped Fred Fred draft stock with a Fred.
No,
with a
we were ready at that time.
Your draft stock with a plummet.
Number one defense in SEC from the time I touched campus.
They would have told you to go to whatever side. We was going to give you the business. You going to go over here, you're going to get rest. You're going to come over here, you're going to get talent.
I would have loved to go get ready. I'm choking him all over. Let's do it.
No, that has been fun.
Oh, gosh. We could talk about college football all day.
I love college football.
But we got to talk about this Rams game.
Yeah.
And I know we probably don't want to, but I think there were some good things. There were some not so good things. And let's talk about the not so good, or the main storyline. I'm not saying it's a good or bad thing.
Yeah.
Is Sam Howell versus Jacoby Brissett. So, who wants to start us off with high level thoughts?
I would start you off.
Okay.
And I'm going to give it to the people very simple.
Okay.
When you get a flat tire, you pull on side the road, and you put that spare on. The spare does its job.
Sometimes you forget about it.
Yeah.
You don't go and get the new tire. You're like, I'm going to work with this tomorrow.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But when you put that spare on, and that spare get you home and do its job, you don't give it applause.
Yeah.
It did what it was supposed to do.
Yeah.
But when it's all over with, I'm putting that tie right back on because the spare can only take me so far. All right, so at the end of the day, I know everybody want to start a controversy. No. We took him out to protect him. It was a bad game for the youngster. Take him out. Let the veteran go in. Let him make some passes happen. And all I'm saying is this is no reason for overreaction.
Well, and I feel you on that. I'm with you, but I think to their offense, when it comes to this wasn't just one bad game.
Yeah.
It's been the last quarter, and now we start a new quarter.
Yeah.
And so it's like 5 games in a row, basically. And I'm not saying all those games. He just
three games.
Like at least 3 games. But I'm just talking about as far as team wise as a whole. Not getting the job done. And then at the same time too, they might be saying, well, we should be going with Brissett. These last 3 games. And I gotta take my hat off to Ron, because if you're a coach sitting in the seat that he's sitting in, hearing all this stuff that's been said about him, you would probably say, I'm going with the best guy that's going to probably give me a winning chance or that's going to help me win. And who's to say that Sam ain't? Because he's shown us that he can win. They have to say, okay, do we have our quarterback here that we can say we can be comfortable with and say, okay, we're going to go grab some other guys as far as the draft? Or do we have to be saying that we got to be picking a top 5 quarterback in the draft? So I think it's great to say that Sam will be playing this week, will be the starter and going forward, because I think he has more to show us. I think we still have to say a lot of these guys should be playing, I think, these last 3 games that haven't played a lot. Yeah. So we can really see what we have for the future.
A lot of questions to be answered.
Yeah, so let's talk about, I think this is one I've been getting a lot, on social media and things like that, is like what what is why was there a difference in the two players? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I think Jacoby comes out, looks pretty sharp, looks very comfortable, looks very confident, looks on rhythm, looks on time. The offense looks way different in terms of production. When Sam's in there, looks a little bit different. Do you guys have a take? I know I have a take. Do you guys have a take on that?
I'm not shocked that a veteran came in and looked like a vet.
Yeah.
I'm not shocked that he came in and he read the defense and said, okay, you're going to play one safety in the middle. I'm going outside. Like, I'm not – like, come on. Let's be honest. Jacoby Brissett could be, if not the best, I think him, Gardner Minshew, a couple of guys,
I think
could be the best backup in football, meaning he could be the 33rd starting quarterback in the NFL.
Yeah.
I'm not shocked that he came in the game and looked like a gamer. I'm just not.
Yeah, no, I think that's 100% right. And I think, like, to give like some more football context to that, like Fred, you alluded to a little bit there, like the goal of the Rams defense changed a little bit when Jacoby got in.
Bingo.
They, you know, like Aaron Donald wasn't playing for the first series that he was in, two series that he was in, so the pressure was not
minimal
there in the same way. They were kind of in this one lurk kind of coverage. It was definitely some variation of man, and Jacoby was like, I know what we're doing. I'm going to find ways to get the ball to my playmakers. And I think, you know, like you said, Fred, like he's a guy who's got a lot of experience, been around the league quite a bit. He's been mentored by some of the best quarterbacks of all time, the best quarterback of all time. You could tell he was on rhythm, on time. He knew where to go with the football. And I do think the simpler defensive structure helped with that. Because when you look at Sam earlier, it's like, man, they're in cover 6, they're in
complex
quarters,
coverage.
they're in 2, they're in 1, they're disguising, they're bringing pressure, and that was just not where the defense was at. So I think Jacoby did an excellent job. You know, especially being on time and in rhythm. I think that was the biggest thing. Throwing with anticipation and then manipulating the safety with his eyes. But those are things, like you said, Fred, that veteran quarterbacks do at a higher level. Like, he's played football. He knows how to ID coverages. He knows how to manipulate coverages. He knows how important it is to be in timing and rhythm. And when you look at young quarterbacks around the league, like I think about Jalen Hurts when he first got in the league, you know, Joe Burrow when he first got in the league, they hold the ball a long time. They have a hard time with anticipatory throws. And you're seeing some of that from Sam. So I think that's kind of where
I think Sam actually, and the people might not agree with me, I think that quarter he sat on that bench watching Jacoby, I think he probably learned more.
I mean, he probably, you're going to learn more.
I think he learned more, like, okay, maybe I need to, you know, I need to speed up the process a little bit. You know, I think he learned from Jacoby by watching him.
But also the writing's on the wall with Sam. I mean, regardless of how much he's shown us that he can get out of those situations, every team's going to present what we saw from the Rams. They're going to show you funky looks in the front. They're going to show you 5 or 6 coming, drop off 1 or 2, bring 4, bring 5. You know, and they're going to say, find out who's the open guy. You know what I mean? And so I feel like the first half, I was like, are they blitzing every play? But no, they was all up there, sitting up there, chopping at the bits, and then you got 1 or 2 guys not coming. It's been like that the entire season. And then when teams didn't do it, they dropped back and brought less. And they was like, you can't beat us that way, you can't beat us this way. So that's why I don't get all super hyped about what I saw, because the first thing I said when I saw, you know, Brissett and what he did, I'm like, okay, it wasn't the same kind of pressure. You know, so, but maybe because of that point spread and how things looked, it was what, 20-7 at that time? So I'm like, okay, well, they 28-7. They was like, okay, we have this under control. But at the same time, I expected Brissett to come in there and say, I know who to throw the ball to, and when in doubt,
throw it to Terry.
Man on man. He got man out there by himself, one-on-one coverage. I'm throwing it out for grabs.
And I know people are shocked that Terry had his highest 140,
41
of his career.
I scratched my head. I'm like, that's all that's
141 and then an inch away from another touchdown. And I just think that's the veteran part of a veteran saying, you know what? Whenever everything's not going right, I'm going to go to my number 1 target. And I think Sam hasn't learned that yet because he likes to make everybody happy. But, you know, in football, sometimes it's about getting things done the way it need to be done. And I don't think it ever should be a game that Terry don't get at least 10 tries.
I don't even think it's about making everybody happy. I doubt Sam going to game saying, I'm going to please all these guys. I just think sometimes he's not overcoming coaching. You know, sometimes you tell a quarterback, hey, read this, and he's trying to read. Obviously, he's trying to read. That's why he's getting hit so much, because he's literally reading, trying to read. And sometimes it works, sometimes it don't. But I just feel like it comes a time when enough is enough. You done felt whatever you felt for a long time. This is what 16 we going into? And so at the end of the day, He got to come to the time and say, I'm gonna get rid of this ball like he has been.
Yep.
And then I'm gonna find a guy who I know I deserve to throw to. And I think that kind of hurt him a little bit because we've been talking about it. Sam, find Terry.
Yeah.
He went for him.
Yeah.
But he went across his body.
Yeah.
And caused him to get an interception.
Yeah.
To me, that was the line in the sand.
Here go think. But to me, no lie, for the first time all year, Sam kind of looked lethargic.
Why are you doing air quotes for that?
I'm just saying he looked lethargic. He looked like the sacks are starting to wear on him. Like even when he ran, he always runs with this waddle. Anyway.
Yeah, he runs like
but
just out there.
he didn't have that little burst he usually has.
Yeah.
Could it be that the sacks are catching up to him, that he's wearing down? Because everybody hits a wall, like the rookie wall.
I often say that. This is his rookie wall. You got to think, he's still a rookie.
That's what I'm saying.
Really.
Could it be that he is wearing down and hitting that rookie wall?
Well, I think it's a couple things. Like there was a play, I want to say it was like the second or third drive of the game. It's 2nd and 2, right? And I think EB comes out with a really nice play call, play action pass. And they're running Terry on like a dagger, like a deep dig. Mm-hmm. And the linebackers step up in the line of scrimmage. There's a throwing lane there. They end up getting to a drop 8 coverage. So everybody steps up. They recognize it. It's drop 8. So there's only 3 guys rushing. And there's a little, I wouldn't even call it a pressure. There's a guy kind of working Sam Cosmi's edge, and Sam Cosmi pushes him to the ground, but it's enough to spook Sam, and he kind of bails the pocket. But Terry is open in the void, right? And so Sam gets spooked, he steps back, and he ends up checking the ball down to Gibson in the flat, and it ends up being a first down. So you can't say like, oh, that's a bad play because the goal of the play was achieved. But I also look at how the play was drawn up, and I'm like, there is an opportunity or an example of where maybe the pressure over the course of the season is starting to spook him a little bit.
Yeah.
And it's getting this result where it's like, instead of sitting in there and making this throw, because you watch Jacoby, and one of the things I was super impressed with, he's just in the pocket.
Yeah.
He's holding the ball a long time, but he is holding the ball a long time.
And standing in that pocket.
To set stuff up down the field, and he's hitting stuff in timing and rhythm. And I look at Sam and I'm like, that's the stuff that's a little bit concerning.
And then you got to think too, as far as just some of the things that he's been hearing, get rid of the ball. So he's saying to himself, at worst, I'm gonna get this ball out of my hand, regardless of if that guy came open or not. I just want to make sure I make the best play, And a lot of times when he's getting sacked throughout the season, when most quarterbacks would just throw the ball to the ground at that guy's foot, he's steady holding on, trying to get that guy to turn around so he can make a great throw. So he's a young guy that's learning. Like I say, all year long, he's been learning how to play this position. Don't get me wrong, he's a quarterback, but he's been learning how to play on this level, and it's going to come with what he's been going through.
Ups and downs.
And then it's going to also benefit him when you have a setback or when you have a moment where they tell you, all right, man, sit down and watch.
Yeah.
And I don't think that sit down and watch was we're not happy with what you're doing. It was, we want to save you right now because we need you for these last 3 weeks.
Yep. I just think he looks like he's wearing down. It looked like he's hitting the wall to me. Like I've seen this before. And like the zip on his balls that was there early in the year, I don't feel it. The little quickness, because he's sneaky athletic.
Yeah.
And I just didn't see that little burst anymore. Like I feel like he's just truly wearing down.
Yeah, and again, like Tana, you said this, and I think this can't be overstated how important this is. Like these 3 defenses they've played are pretty good. Like we talked about how LA bust stuff, but they are complicated, right? Vic Fangio, one of the best at running this kind of cover 3 match in the NFL. He's the godfather, right? And obviously Dallas. So I do think you're going to see kind of young quarterbacks take a step back versus good defense. Does this mean anything for EB? Like kind of this quarterback switch, Sam's development, does that have anything to do with EB?
You know what's so crazy about this whole EB thing? And I get it, because now that I'm not playing, I understand the stuff that I'm hearing. When it comes to the people on the radio and talk shows, like they're gonna put on you whatever it is, regardless of the outcome. Like I don't think you can really judge EB's offense from this season.
Yeah, because Sam is a rookie.
It was so much going on offensive to me up front and with Sam that the only thing we really had that was prominent, that we was like, oh man, we have a dominant wide receiver group. But besides that, like you got to be like, okay, we got to see what this offensive line give us, which you've stated that PFF wise they grade out well.
I mean,
and then at the quarterback position. So regardless of how good they grade out, with the PFF grades, when you have a young quarterback, sometimes they make you look bad.
It's worse.
You know what I'm saying? So
that's a great point.
It's just one of those situations. I've been in seasons where I had young quarterbacks numerous of times, and the numbers don't add up.
Yeah.
You look at me like, well, damn, Tanner, you only had 700 yards this game.
Pat Ramsey.
I got this quarterback. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's not going to see what the other quarterback saw.
Right.
Yeah.
And I've been through that 2 or 3 times. So I hate the fact that I hear them talk about EB and what he did or what they fed up with what he's shown them. He didn't show you much because he put an offense in here that really showed you that we can move the ball.
No, we can move the ball.
But you can't judge him off of our downfalls. Or our
First of all, I
pitfalls.
know this about EB. He's a leader of men. I know that. I know schematically he can draw up a play to beat anybody he needs to beat him. I just think 15, 16 games, I can't grade you.
Yeah.
Like I can't say like and everybody want to go to the numbers.
I think sorry to cut you off, but I've said that to people before, and fans get really frustrated. And I don't think they understand. So like Kyle Shanahan in 2000, I go back to this all the time. 2010, 2011, we were yards. We were the 4th best offense per play for total yards, which is an amazing statistic. Yeah. We were 28th in scoring and like 31st on third down.
Yeah.
So we were finding chunk plays. We were doing good stuff. And so you talk to Kyle about it. You talk to Sean about it. Talk to Mike. And one of the things they say is it takes 3 years to learn an offense. And I keep coming back to that. And people say, oh, that's horse malarkey. Offenses improve. But at the same time, like it's for me to understand, like on a choice route, like I need to get this bunch a little bit tighter so the throw isn't so long for the quarterback, or on these crossing routes, my splits need to be a little bit tighter, or I can't take this angle on this high cross. Those things take time. And it's not time for the players. Yeah. It's time for the coaches. It's time for the quarterback to understand the rhythm and timing of an offense.
And that's why Ron said that he by year 4, things should be better a little bit because that's how he's doing the same thing. He's saying, well, this is a new offense for all these guys. And, you know, things are going to change yearly when it comes to draft picks. So give me 4. And what's odd about we at the 4th year, I feel like everything changed every year for him.
Yeah.
So you couldn't really have that. You didn't really have the same group going out there every year. You know what I mean? Yeah. You have a whole new offense this year, which that showed a little bit of improvement, but you got a quarterback issue still, regardless if we found him or not. He's still young. Yeah. So you're going through growing pains with that. So it's just one of those situations, man. You win some, you lose some, but hey, it happens. And you can't really just judge somebody off of the failure of this year. That's how I feel.
I can't, I'm with you on that.
Yeah. All right, just a reminder, we're brought to you by Bet365. At Bet365, we don't do ordinary. We believe every sport should be epic. That's why we offer an NFL early payout offer. Get your straight bets paid out or parlay selections marked as winner when your team goes up by 17 points, regardless of whether the opponent comes back to win the game. Our early payout offer has hit over 52 times this season. Use the QR code to sign up and see for yourself why it's never ordinary at Bet365. Official sports betting partner of the Washington Commanders.
Must be 21 and older and physically located in Virginia. Please gamble responsibly. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem and wants help, call 1-800-GAMBLER.
So the Rams would have won that early payout because they was up 17 on us.
Oh, is that how that works?
Yeah, they was up.
Because they covered.
They covered, no matter that we came back with 2 touchdowns, that would have been an early payout right there.
Interesting. All right. So, in addition to all the Sam controversy, I think it gets lost because, you know, like you said, young Kai, all this thing, I think the defense played better.
Man, you look at that one play in the third quarter and you probably say, no, they didn't. Yeah. But, man, to me, it's they've shown improvement since the whole Ron taking over.
Coach Rivera been in there.
It's crazy,
And, like, even with, you know, missing Jamin Davis, I mean, Khalid Hudson was
balled
everywhere.
Yep.
Yes, he was.
All around.
Swapping paint.
I mean, he's so small. He look like a little, you don't know where you can, like, really fit him in at. Like, he's like a rover. You know how, like, you had that rover back in the day?
That big, strong safety.
You ain't know if he's a strong safety or a linebacker, so you call him a rover.
Yeah.
But he just make plays, man. And to any football player, if you don't like a guy like that, man, it just makes you realize, man, that you have guys on the team that's second and third guys that you're just chopping at the bits, waiting for opportunity.
Waiting for a chance. And the thing about it is, KJ Henry, I thought he played well. Jones flashed. I thought Deron Payne coming off the edge.
Yeah.
Hey.
You know, there was a new little wrinkle right there. I thought Payne played a game on
John played better.
Yep. So, you know, I think they waking up on defense, and I think they have simplified stuff besides that one blown coverage. I thought they competed, and that's what I want. Yeah. I thought they competed, and that's all you can ask for at this time.
Something I talked about going into the game is that, you know, you know, we was talking about we haven't had any turnovers, but I was like, more so not having any turnovers as far as on the defense side. We haven't forced any.
Yeah.
And they forced 2.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Like, so stuff like that just gave you, you know, made you feel good about that. They, especially off a bye. You know how hard and difficult it is? Like, people like, so what is the bye going to do for you? Yeah. Well, the bye could set you up because you can come out there lackadaisical and be flat. One of the things that I mentioned on the pregame show, I was like, look, Kyle used to emphasize, after them buys, we gotta start fast. We gotta do we gotta do this, we gotta do that. So I was happy to see that both sides did just that. Like, our offenses moved the ball for a while here and there, then it got complicated a little bit. But defensively, man, that Rams team got into the red zone 2 or 3 times, and it was turnovers.
Yeah. And first of all, if you ain't got respect for Matt Stafford, some of those throws this dude was making, man.
I said
that throw that he made in that pocket to the sideline to the right, didn't step into it all cannon.
Yeah.
And listen, the precision this dude was throwing with, I seen a couple angle throws. I was like, man, they need to put some respect.
It's something about that
Matthew
Detroit
Stafford name.
They made it seem like Matthew Stafford wasn't the it guy. And to me, I've been saying it from, like, he was like that same thing when it came to Tony Romo.
Yeah.
Like, trust me, he's a lot better than Tony Romo when it comes to certain things. But I just feel like when Matt came over to the Rams, they was like, yeah, he's better than Cup, but they didn't want to give him his true, dude. They want to make it seem like, okay, he's a better passer, but he's in this great offense.
Lived up
he's
to
in his great offense, so he's going to win better because his pass percentage is a little higher than Cup's, and he's going to automatically win because his offense, just fits him. But I'm like, no, he's a great quarterback.
No, he's that dude.
He just was in Detroit.
Yeah, he was that dude.
And he had 2 guys. Golden Tate could have been easily, if Golden Tate stays with him in Detroit, man, we might be talking about him being a Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
He made a couple of guys look good at their receiving position.
Yeah, he did.
He's very talented, and I think the one kind of blemish, obviously the big play to Cup, it's a coverage bust. So we could talk about that a little bit because we were talking about that in our production meeting.
Yep.
Fred, it looks like cover 3 to me.
Cover 3 match.
Yeah, so cover 3, and every zone has an element of match to it. I don't know if it's a true, I don't know if they call it match, but we're getting technical here. And so what you're getting is the number 1 receiver to the left. It's covered by Benjamin St-Juste. Runs across the form, runs an inside release sit route, right?
Yep.
And Benjamin St-Juste matches him because in cover 3, it's going to play like man versus a vertical route stem, right? They motion Cooper Kupp from the other side, and he runs a wheel, which is a classic cover 3 beater.
Yep.
In modern cover 3, at least in my experience, the hook player, who in this case is Cameron Curl,
the safety,
has to carry the
second man through the zone is what it's called, and the first man through the zone was their wide receiver that hooked up with Benjamin St-Juste.
Yeah.
So now it's nobody else, and I could probably say they maybe swung the back around to try to some eye candy.
Yeah.
But he knows once Cup comes across his face, I got to chase him.
Yeah.
I got to go with him. At least make the throw have to be. Have to be a perfect throw. Yeah. But I see, like you said, it's a true cover 3 beater, and we was in cover 3.
Yeah.
Speaking of you saying that it maybe has swung that back around, to me that makes me, I got to go watch it again because I haven't watched it yet. But it had to be that because the way he played it, it was almost as if he was waiting on something.
He was waiting on something,
If you was truly seeing that guy and he had to see something in front of him for him to sit that way. I'm like, why is he sitting there in the flats like it's something coming at him? So it had to be a swing route or somebody or a back coming to that zone area that caught his eye.
That caught his attention.
That guy was just too wide open, and it just made it seem like that either Butler busted until we broke it down, and he was like, no, second guy through that zone, it has to be this
It has to be
guy.
him, and it was the second, 16 yards of separation, the second longest open.
Second most separation by a player in the NFL this year. So obviously a coverage bust. The other one is, because Benjamin St-Juste said that we have 2 ways of playing that concept. I guess the other way is if he plays it just like straight cover 3, like
stay
on Madden,
outside and stay high.
and stays outside and stay high. But then if he does that, you're probably completing the ball.
18 yards
to the 18-yard hookup, which I'll take that 18-yard hookup before I take that other one any day. All right?
Right. And so obviously, you got to be on the same page. Got to, I don't know what happened there.
We got to want to put that damn V-neck on.
I got my Miami Vice going on right now.
So I think that's a coverage bust. The other thing I want to point out is I don't know how well they stopped the run. You know, I think they rushed for, it was like 152 or something like that.
He was on
160.
And he fumbled twice. So,
Yeah.
Fumbled
just
twice.
imagine what
If
could
he
have
don't
been.
fumble twice, like he's a handful.
At one point, they said he was averaging 6.4 yards a carry.
Yeah.
I looked at the jumbo. I'm like, what? Like 6 point what?
You can't stop you can't stop a team if you can't stop the
And it
run.
wasn't even that. Like he's good. Like
Yeah.
he reminds me of. Let me name a running back that just was on one. What his name was?
He kind of remind me of Priest Holmes.
But no, I'm talking about like far as a guy that I saw that was on. Like he reminded me of the kid that came from Miami. He was at Florida State, played college at Florida State. He's a Miami kid, and he played in Atlanta. What his name is again? I can't think of his name. You know what I'm talking about?
He played at Florida State.
Played at Florida
Warwick
State.
Dunn?
No, I'm talking about just recently, like the last 6 years, 7 years.
I know who.
Oh,
you're talking
Freeman.
about.
Freeman. There you go.
Dante.
Dante Freeman.
He looked like Freeman. I mean, like just like with his decision in the hole, like, and getting straight up. I was like, bro, but he might not be as powerful as Freeman, but he was one of those backs that you give him something, it could be a goner.
So yeah, one of the things I wanted to like kind of double click on there is everyone says, oh, you know, like, you know, what are they doing? And I think we talked about this in our breakdown last week about how they get in this 11 personnel, have those receivers block.
No, they all block well.
They're running like weak lead with Cooper Kupp leading on the Buffalo nickel. Like, you know what I mean? They were doing some creative stuff from a run game standpoint. And I think also it's important to note that defensively, from a cover, like we were emphasizing coverage structures.
Yeah.
So we were playing light boxes. We were kind of like, go ahead, run the ball. We don't want you throwing the ball. And I think this is one of the results, right?
Do me a favor though, Logan, break that down to the listeners and the viewers of what that does when you're allowing the receivers to take advantage of that kind of matchup and block for you.
Yeah, so
now you don't have the bigs in the game. You don't have the key guys in the game.
So I think everyone's like, oh, you know, we got to get a fullback in, we got to get a tight end in, and like defenses are smart. They know those guys are more physical players, and so what they've done in LA is basically they've said like, how do we get to some of our like 21, 12 personnel runs out of 11? And so what you do is you say, well, how is the defense going to match our 11? They're going to play nickel. So that nickel player is going to be in the box.
Yep.
And so I think a receiver, especially if we got a tough receiver like Puka Nacua, Cooper Kupp, is going to match up really well on the nickel player. So instead of that first combination on the shade, so a shade is someone who's going to play to the play side, outside shoulder of the center. So instead of that shade having leverage on the center, now we can double team that shade with the guard. We can lead with the receiver on the nickel, and then that angle of the double team is like what I would call like a negative angle.
Yeah, it's cut out.
So instead of me having to chase an angle, I've got an angle. And that's those types of things when you get receivers that block are so advantageous. Even on like duo, for example, which is like, you know, think of duo, it's double teams, double teams, double teams. Instead of having to take a double team back, now we can have Puka Nacua crack that nickel, and then that double team can sit and go across the ball. So it does a ton of stuff from leverage when you get receivers that can do that. And I think like what it's shown me is like we've seen this offense from Kyle Shanahan go from, you know, what they're doing up there with a fullback and a bunch of tight ends to what they're doing in Miami with all this jet motion and creating space and kind of the it's like what I would call like gun single wing stuff. And you go to LA and it's the same principles. But it's all how you find the angles in the run game, and you see how it wasn't quite as scary in the week. But like it's still super effective.
When they got up on close on you, because I just love to hear you break it down, because I know you was going to break it down better than anybody can tell it. And that's the thing about these guys. That's why I love this offense when I played in this offense, because like I told you about that game, we played the Cowboys, and not Mike, but Cal, like, Tanner, you coming, you gonna cut this in. I'm like,
it was
dude, 300
big guy,
300 something pounds. But at the same time, as a player, and I remember hearing someone tell me this early in my career, Wayne Corbett, I was with the Jets. He said, Tanner, I get more excited for making that key block on a run that scored than me catching the touchdown at times. And I took that with me throughout my career. I'm talking about 14 years later. He told me I was a rookie. 14 years later, here I am. They telling me, you going to block this guy in the first drive, and we going to hit this thing. It's going to be, because they're not going to expect you to be blocking him.
It's a big play.
And I went in there, and I thought to myself, I got to really block. I ain't finna go up there footing. You can beat that. You can beat that. I'm not finna go that way. I'm gonna chop it. I was a DB.
Yeah.
Fred, I got a little bit. That's why I was able to take hits.
You love to bring up your DB background.
Because that's why I tell folks. That's why it wasn't nothing for me to take a hit.
Yeah.
Man, I went in there and chopped that dude like I was Paul Bunyan. Like I had an axe.
Yeah.
And I got up like, It made my game that much better that night. You know what I mean?
It's similar to me as a corner when people try to toss sweep to my side. I'm not letting it happen.
Yeah.
Like I got two options. I can literally beat them to the punch and go tackle the running back, or I can start a pile.
Yeah.
But I'm going to do one of them. And I want to ask you this, Tanner. How was SoFi Stadium? I've never been to it. Brand new. What the stadium?
Beautiful.
What did it look like? What did it feel like?
I took pictures for y'all because I was in there like a real fan. Like
Because it feel like you outside, but you inside at the same time.
the first thing I told B Mitch, I say, when we get our stadium in DC, we gotta have the same roof.
Yeah.
It was a covered roof, but it was clear.
Yeah.
So the sun is beaming in on you. You literally think you're outside. Then it's one portion of the stadium to the. So if I'm talking about from our sideline, it was to the left of us. It's open. So B Mitch was kind of telling me the whole. You can't have that kind of open part. I'm like, don't open our stadium then, but have the same roof.
Yeah.
Because we want Super Bowls here in DC.
Yeah,
We wanna
it needs to be retractable.
We want to have these kind of, events where we can enjoy the weather. So, but man, it was nice, bro. And that Jumbotron, I've never seen nothing like it. That thing's
It's the circle one, right?
bro. We sat there before the game started and watched every NFL game that was going on
Really?
the Jumbotron because
That's cool.
it's a big circle.
Yeah.
So they had every game. They had like a 70-inch screen in every bit, and you was sitting there watching all the games.
That's awesome.
Bro, it was something to be at.
Like
I thought I liked it at Vegas. No, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
Vegas Stadium was more of a party.
Yeah.
But that was nice.
It looked better. That one looked better.
Yeah,
Because you had some pictures of walking around the concourse of that kid in the Paulson jersey, and in the background it just looks like you're on a spaceship.
Yeah, so we was.
You know what I'm saying?
So remember when
I was just like, where are you
when
guys?
we played the Cowboys? Remember we
Yeah,
played the Cowboys?
yeah.
Remember how right behind our bench, that little area where they'd be at the bar? That's where we was at when we took a picture of that kid. So it was literally the same way
That's cool.
that, but it was just more open. They had a nice setup with food, the bar. Bro, that's one. Hey, you know what? That's one of the things I'm gonna appreciate. Whoever's been sending us on these trips, thank you. Because the experience I'm experiencing
Because
just
you getting to see it from the fans' point of view.
We never
get that.
We never had the opportunity as players, man. I tell folks, I had my first tailgate after I played for 14 years, and then you talking about college, then you talking about high school. I never tailgated ever in my life until I was almost 40 years old.
Yeah.
So, to have these experiences now, being able to be at the stadium, covering the games, but getting the chance to really see what's going on in there.
I'm envious because I'm at Velocity.
Thank you so much.
I know, Fred. I could tell you're just so hurt by that. It's like you just want to be out.
I be scrolling up Instagram, Tanner on that thing, smile. I be mad. Listen to me. I be salty dog over there.
But you've been alive.
But you've been to some nice Velocity wings too.
Yeah. Every last one of them in the DMV. Listen to me. It's fun. I enjoy mingling with the fans, but I would, like Tanner said, we never get
we don't get to enjoy that
point of view.
Yeah.
We never get.
That's why I had to ask him about that stadium because last year we got a chance to go to Las Vegas.
Yeah, that was
and it was
that
crazy.
was the experience of a lifetime.
Oh yes, sir.
I bet you young or old Fred Smoot in Vegas is a sight to behold.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it don't matter how old he is.
Oh, listen to me, Vegas.
Fred can be 70 years old. He gonna still do the same stuff.
I bet you like the next day on the show they're like, "Where's Fred at?"
Hey,
they don't know where you are.
I got to go to Vegas now because I want to go to the Spear. I want to go see the big Spear they got now, the big circle building. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I want to go see the big Spear, and they be having light
Spear.
shows. And
Well,
Spear.
Well,
Is it Spear?
I said Spear.
Well, you have a
Spear.
reason. Super Bowl's coming, so
Like a circle.
That's your reason. Super Bowl
Oh, it is Super Bowl in Vegas.
in Vegas this year. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh man, Fred about to be.
Look at him.
Okay.
Fred's.
Hey, Bet 360, we won't be working that day.
Nah, they need to bring us.
Yeah, we'll do a podcast, Bet365. And just a reminder, we are brought to you by Bet365.
We are.
At Bet365, who's going to send us the Super Bowl this year, which would be pretty cool.
Yep.
We don't do ordinary. We believe every sport should be epic. Right now, new customers can choose between two offers when they open an account at Bet365. Use the QR code to sign up, deposit 10, and choose between either. First bet safety net offer by placing a bet up to $1,000, and if your qualifying bet loses, you receive a match refund in bonus bets. Or bet and get offer and place a bet of $5 or more and get $150 in bonus bets. Whatever the sport, Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365, official sports betting partner of the Washington Commanders. Must be 21 plus and physically located in Virginia. Please gamble responsibly. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem and wants help, call 1-800-GAMBLER.
I wonder if I just got on the phone and call 1-800-GAMBLER and say, I got a problem. Is they going to send somebody for me?
Nah, they gonna know it's you.
Hey, it's me.
This is for important stuff.
I can't stop gambling.
All right. Jason, you got a mic? Get on the mic. No, get on the mic real quick. I got to talk to you for a second. There we go. Here it comes.
Yeah.
All right. So the next segment is one that our producer Jason came up with.
Yeah.
It's called Christmas Cards. And I think it was inspired by...
Kind of like what Jimmy Fallon does, where he writes like the thank you notes. You guys seen that before?
I don't know.
Yeah,
have you seen it?
I have.
It
Ted, have you seen
doesn't
it?
matter.
Yeah, I've
It's
seen
not
it
a
before.
complicated thing.
I've seen it before.
So when we write Christmas cards, when my wife and I write Christmas cards, we always try and like personalize it a little bit.
Yeah.
Like, hey, happy holidays to you. Like, thank you for doing this for us this year.
Yeah.
It was a real blessing to us. You know, whatever.
Yeah.
Enjoy the holidays. Right.
Okay.
Try
Yeah.
to do something nice. So since you guys get on each other's case all the time.
Yeah.
Being nice. It's that time of year though.
All right.
Let's bury some of that. Say something nice about each other.
All right. All right.
Oh, is this is this sincerely nice, or are we?
Yes, it's the holidays,
Okay.
man.
Yeah.
Like we're being
Yeah.
nice.
You know, I started off, you know.
No, I don't.
it's Christmas.
This guy. What
Look who started it off.
From the Smoot family to the Paulson family.
I can't wait.
Hey, I just want to thank you, you know.
You can't even say it. You can't even be that. It hurt you so bad.
For being, you know, the good guy you are. I learned a lot about you this year. Never had a drink of alcohol.
Yeah.
Never did this. Just such a stand-up guy. You know what? Our friendship is growing day by day. All right?
I appreciate
my
that.
Christmas card to Santana. Oh man, we done been together since day one.
That is crazy when you think
Yeah,
about it.
so
all together.
let's continue to flourish in life together, brother.
You know, no doubt.
I thought just real quick, I thought for sure Fred was going to start and just make a hard right.
And
Just be
kill
like,
us.
yeah.
Both. Just kill us dead right on the
Hey, see,
Christmas
I'm
card.
saying, see, there I go get
So
serious.
I'm gonna skip Logan and I'm gonna put my card out there. I'm gonna start with Logan.
Okay.
To Logan from the Moss family. Merry Christmas. And Logan, I appreciate your analytics and you being humble every day because you come in here and have to work with Fred Smoot.
No doubt.
You know, Fred
Makes it tough.
He's a mouthful, but you keep it trucking and take on that verbal battle. I guess he give you that verbal beating.
Yeah.
That's what he want to do every week.
Every second of every day.
He want to talk you up or talk you down. But I appreciate you, Logan, man. You make all us better on these shows.
Thank you, Tana.
And Fred, Merry Christmas.
Thanks for the Christmas card. It was short and sweet.
Okay, so from the Paulson family to the Smoots.
Yeah.
I just want to say thanks, Fred, for every day making it hilarious to come to work.
Yeah.
I mean, because he does do that.
Bring us
I mean,
joy.
he's talking more shit than anybody else
Bring
on the
us joy.
planet, but it is funny and it's fun. And Tana, thanks for always being the most down-to-earth, humble guy
Appreciate
I've ever. Like, you could be like the biggest kid of all time, but you're nice to me, make me feel cool, you make me feel like I'm part of the group, and I always appreciate that.
Oh, I'm not humble.
I mean, are you not humble? Man, we can't get through a segment without you talking about something you did. Like, we were talking about offense earlier, and you were like, when I play DB, it's the same thing.
Well, you know when I was on CBS, I played the receiver.
Y'all remember me in Plexico?
So, yeah, thanks, you guys. It's been a ton of fun doing work this year.
you, man.
And now, for the moment, I mean, this is maybe
Drum roll.
This is like almost as big as the Super Bowl this year.
Yeah, it
in
is.
terms of television, like the moment, like what, like
He lose
fights,
again.
like fights. What do they do in fights? Like the third fight is the one that settles.
Yeah, yes,
the
it-
rubber match.
Yeah.
Yes, and as you know, that voice right there. What? Oh, we got to do this read. We got to do this read right now, Jason. All right. So this segment, before we get into hype it up too much, is presented by Northwest Federal Credit Union, the official credit union of the Washington Commanders. Stop searching, go Northwest. Check out nwfcu.org/Washington to see how easy it is to join and how Northwest can help you make your money work for you. Stop by a branch or visit nwfcu.org/Washington today. Okay, so here he is.
Yes.
Zach Selby.
Yes.
Fred Smoot. In the bake-off of the century.
Yes.
Bake off.
We did.
See,
So
I knew he was going to use right cream on the
Bake
top of
off,
him,
bake
so
off,
I
bake
took
off.
away to use my invisible
We haven't even-
lemon cream
You didn't
on
put any
there.
cream on there.
Yeah,
It's
we
just
haven't-
water.
okay.
No. I use what I call
see
a
the glaze.
transparent lemon juice
I see the
filter
glaze.
right
You see the
there.
Well, see, I have to give them both credit because I think Fred listened to me and said, Tan don't like the white stuff.
Yeah.
And then Zach said, he don't like the white stuff, so I'm going to cut a spot
there
out.
is a cake that
But I
has-
had to let Zach know that, you know what? When it comes to the pound cake,
Yeah.
the icing is different to me than just white sauce.
Yeah.
So I appreciate that, though, Zach.
So
Fred, I'm not gonna lie. Looking over there at that cake, it looks like you burnt it a little bit.
so hey, hold on. Before we get in,
It's an African American cake.
before we start talking all this mess, what did you guys make? What did you guys make?
7-Up cake.
7-Up cake.
What is 7-Up cake? It's just like 7-Up in a.
No, you have to
Cake
use
with
7-Up in it.
Yeah.
Pound.
All right.
Yeah, 7-Up. It's basically a pound cake cut with 7-Up.
Okay.
Now my icing also has 7-Up in it.
No.
Yeah, because you supposed to. Mine has 7-Up in it too.
Does it have anything in it?
Yeah.
I don't know if it
But
does.
that's why I made mine thin.
Ooh,
I knew
dude.
the crowd I was playing
starting
to.
with
Is
Zach,
yours supposed to be thick like this, Zach? Like
Yeah,
what's
it
like?
is.
Okay,
It's supposed to be thick.
supposed to be a little thicker cake.
Yeah.
So what is it?
Yeah,
What's
so
it called?
you
It's a
most
pound
definitely
cake.
need milk. You need cow's milk to drink to eat here.
That's not a bad thing.
Cow's milk. That'll kill Fred though.
I ain't gonna lie, I'll taste Zach first. It's good.
It is.
It's good.
It's very good. You did a good job with this.
Lord, know what I like. Sweets.
Wow, it's a very rich cake.
It is. There's a lot. So there's lemon zest, lime zest, and both lemon and lime juice in there.
You always say lemon and lime juice, but I also use the lemon skin.
That's what zest is.
Yeah, I'm
man.
just saying. but you bought your zest. I scraped mine.
Don't you dare disrespect me. I got my own zester, okay?
Oh,
I
zester?
zested my lemon and my lime.
Now touch mine.
I'm finna go over here.
Mine is softer.
It is very soft.
Mine is more
It is
what
soft.
grandmama used to make.
Hey, this is Jiffy, boy.
See, I think you got Tana's like flavor profile. I don't know what it is. I think you and Tana.
No, Zach, I ain't gonna lie. I told you yours is great.
Dude, Zach's yours
is great,
so
Zach.
flavorful.
No, I just looked at his softness. I'm like, this is Jiffy. You know, he know what I'm talking about. With
Yeah, I know.
Jiffy.
What's Jiffy? For those of
It's
us.
the cornbread mix.
Yeah, it's a cornbread mix.
Oh.
Hey, we grew up on it.
Yeah,
so
see,
it's just,
his is thicker. Mine is fluffier, lighter.
It is very light.
Yeah.
damn, Fred. Like, you know what? It's like a tweener, like a cornbread vibe cake. It's soft.
Yeah.
like it's real soft. I like Zach's taste. The taste of it. Don't get me wrong, it's thick. I'm gonna go back to Zach. Pause. I said thick.
You need that milk, but that's okay.
No, okay, let's review. So for the first bake we did, what do we do? Pumpkin.
No, we did sweet
So,
potato
I
pie
did
versus pumpkin.
Yeah, and then we switched
So-
for round
Then
two.
we went pumpkin pie, sweet potato
Right.
pie.
Yeah. So in all of those, I remember the first one, obviously the texture was banging for Zach, and
Yeah.
your flavor was really good, right?
Yeah.
And then the second one, it was,
My pumpkin pie.
yes, and the pumpkin pie flavor was crazy, and then it was a little bit muted, right? It was like too much stuff going
I'll
on.
give Fred won that round. I'll give him that.
Okay. This one is like completely the opposite.
Yeah.
Like Fred, your texture's really good, but Zach, your flavor is a banging right now.
So do you give him the edge?
I mean, I'm gonna take another bite.
Now taste that icing. Get some.
The icing, I've had some icing.
Look,
Now you know
I-
my ice is
I ate-
transparent and lighter.
Yeah.
I ate, and it's crazy because normally I would want to have more icing. I'm an icing guy.
Yeah.
Like, especially on cakes.
Yeah.
You want to see it. But for me not to see yours,
Yeah.
but I know you glazed it, I can see it.
Yeah.
I can taste it.
Yeah.
It's great.
That glaze is really good.
But, oh my God.
You hated on my glaze because you felt like it was too
I
transparent.
do hate on the
Is that-
glaze.
Like-
I do hate on the glaze. I do.
with the glaze, this is really nice. This takes me back to like when I was a kid. Like my mom used to make cake like
Yeah,
this.
I'm glad I could take you there. You know, that means my cake has a hint of nostalgia. Right? And see, when I was cooking
Wait, did
last
you
night-
make this from a box? He said it was.
No, he's saying because Jiffy cornbread.
Oh.
He like that's another level. You don't know nothing about it. Now,
I don't know anything about
see,
that.
I was listening to music while I make my cakes. Like every day, Feels like a holiday. That's what so my cake got sold in.
See, now that we're very different because I was listening to a Game of Thrones audiobook while I was making it.
That's what we different at. So
Which
mine
book?
got a little soul.
Storm of Swords,
Which one is that? What number?
the third one.
That's the third one.
That's when
That's the best one, by the way.
yeah, season 3 and 4 basically combined for those who don't watch. So
And
don't read the
What
books,
did y'all
watch
talking about?
the shows.
Game of Thrones?
Game of Thrones books.
Because the books, because I read the first 3 books, because the 4th book,
Fourth book goes in a completely different direction from the
but that
shows.
3rd book was awesome.
Really
You read
good.
the
Tell
book.
me this,
The Wheel of Winners now.
Tell me this though, like, but do the book mess y'all up when y'all watch the show?
No, because
No.
it's just like Marvel.
No. I actually-
like they switch it just a little bit
Yeah.
to make it fit the narrative,
I
just like
actually
Marvel
found it-
will.
I actually found it to be helpful, to be honest,
It
to
is.
watch it because I could keep track of the characters a little bit better.
And George R. R. Martin do it.
Yeah.
He on purposely names characters
I ain't gonna
names
do
close to each other,
Yeah, like,
so
what
you'll
a-
have to.
What a psycho.
Yeah, but he do that so you'll have to pay attention to it. Yeah.
I remember him doing the names in the
Come
Game of
on,
Thrones.
right now in the House of Dragon, you got the 2 twins. One named Eric, one named Eric.
Yeah,
Like, what are you talking about?
that is a very good play. I like that.
But, oh gosh, Fred, that with the glaze,
Yeah.
it's nice.
Yeah,
Glaze is nice.
see the glaze. I try to make mine fluffy. Like right now, if you don't chain my cake to that's over there to float up. See what
That's
I'm
true.
talking about?
We have to have a holiday champion.
I have to say, Zach didn't make me mad this time. Like, I wasn't even mad at Zach because I know Zach could bake. Last time it was just the white stuff that he had on his cake.
He tried to do too much.
I did try to do too much.
It was
He
just
brought- he brought his flambe gun in
It
here
was
and
just instead of
everything.
putting the marshmallow in one spot, he spreaded the marshmallow.
I did.
That was the only
I did.
thing he
I
did
should've
wrong.
stuck with
'Cause the
one
cake-
marshmallow on the end.
That pie was good. The pie wasn't bad. It was just the marshmallow. To me, it was just threw me off. But it's hard. It's hard. It's hard.
This is definitely the closest one.
This is hard.
Actually, the pumpkin sweet potato, the first round.
Yeah.
Yeah, the first. So
Yeah.
remember they had tied, right? The first
We
one.
tied the first one.
Then Fred won the second
Yeah.
one. They.
It's tough. I mean, I'll give you that. Like,
Wait,
Fred, you're better
Zach,
than I thought you'd
Zach,
be.
if you were grading
I ain't
this, what
gonna
would
lie.
you grade
You
this?
know what? I think you look
I ain't
at my
gonna lie.
food and say it's ugly.
Hey, I honestly, hey Zach,
You don't give it a
Zach,
chance.
I honestly believe that you're doing this. I don't believe Fred. It's hard.
Why?
It's hard for me to. Dog, every time Fred brings something in, it's hard for me to believe you, Fred.
Well, you know I ain't got no woman at
It's
home.
too good. I'm almost thinking you going to get somebody. Hey, I got a pie bake off tomorrow.
No, listen. And then I'm a late night baker, so I ain't started baking to what 11 o'clock last night.
God.
Yeah, yeah. So
As I used to be like that. That's a dangerous game.
wait,
You lose
he
sleep
didn't
over
text me to what?
It was pretty late.
Yeah, about 8, 9 o'clock and say bring a cake. So, I was like, oh.
okay, so for we're voting, they're just different cakes.
They are very different cakes.
Like I wish you guys had done the same cake, because now it's hard.
We did do
It's-
the
We
same.
did.
no,
We just use different techniques.
Yeah,
See, this is a pound cake, though. You said
Both
Yeah.
of them are 7-Up cakes
yeah.
both are 7-Up cakes,
Both are
but
7-Up
but why
cakes.
is yours denser?
because he made it denser. I could have made mine denser. I didn't want to.
Yeah. Fred made
So
it.
that's a
how he-
stylistic
I
choice.
made mine
Fred
light.
made it how
Well,
we
it's,
eat, how
pound
we
cakes-
grew up eating them.
In
Yeah.
my opinion, pound cakes are supposed to be a
Thicker.
little bit thicker.
Because this reminds me of like a lemon cake a little bit.
Well, I did a lot of lemon abstract and stuff.
So,
But I don't want to
So-
vote. Can we,
so
someone
I
else
Well,
vote?
see, and he used cornbread meal and flour, right?
no, I didn't. No. I just used flour.
You just use flour.
But I also did a mixture of white flour and wheat flour.
Okay, so I use just white flour.
Yeah, that's why mine is lighter than yours.
All right, one more bite. Then I'm
What
gonna
are
vote.
you laughing at, man?
I'm a sweet guy, so I'm gonna eat both of these.
Sounds like we all win.
Yeah, we all win in the end.
This kind of feels like a tie a little bit to me.
I'm a sweet guy.
I mean, do you want me to vote like Jason?
That's going to give Scoot the win for the season. Because it'll be one.
I can't have that.
It'll be 1-0 and 2.
1-0 and 2.
Yeah, we basically
Do you want to give Scoot?
the New York Jets.
I honestly can't get them. I can't
Zach,
say
how would
one.
you grade Smooth's cake?
Better than he thought.
I'll scale. Yeah, it's definitely better than I thought it would be.
That's what I'm saying. He surprised me every time. Like,
Scale of
Goddamn.
1 to 10.
you gotta put a
I
ring.
give it an 8. I
Eight?
give it an 8.
That's a lot of love.
But see, and I think
would you-
I
gotta put a ring
My
cake
flavor
on
puts it a little bit above, but I also think my icing is better objectively.
But see,
than
I
the
made mine
icing.
transparent so it can soak into the cake, not stand on the cake.
But my thing is the icing, the flavor of the icing on my cake is more apparent than yours.
Yeah, but see, mine's transparent, so
Okay.
it makes yours not apparent.
That bite sealed it for me. The bite sealed it. Fred's cake is very good.
Yeah.
but I think Zach's cake is better than this one. So I think it's a tie for the season. But I'm not just saying that. Like,
No,
it's
no.
like
Your word is not the all be all. Tell him what you got to
just
say.
saying.
I like Zach taste.
Zach's taste is.
I like the
pretty
taste. I like the taste of the cake. So he didn't do me no. You know what I mean? Thank you, Zach. Fred's was soft.
Good. It's very
So
soft.
it's soft
Very
and,
soft.
and it tastes good. So it's hard for me to say that anyone. So if I had to say, I'm finna be the hardest I can be. I know it relies on If I had to go blindfolded and I didn't see nothing, and I just went with I would probably go with the softness of the cake.
I like how Tanner's actually got his eyes
Jay,
covered.
Jay,
But the taste was good. Like I can't lie.
Zach's taste
I can't
is-
lie to him. Like he
And it's a little bit more
and,
consistent.
and I
throughout.
think Zach brought it more harder to me. Like I'm gonna show Tanner this.
I put a little extra lemon and extra
Like-
extra
like
lime in
he-
there too. It's like, I'm not, gonna let him
I'm
just
not
beat me
even
this time.
surprised because I know Zach can bake.
Yeah.
But I was just like, damn, Zach finna make this hard for me to not say his cake killed it. Like
Yeah.
he killed it. Especially the
Damn,
icing.
Yeah.
It's good
Jay,
cake.
what you got?
Yeah,
All right,
skinny,
so
skinny Jay.
obviously I've had plenty of cakes. In the
Yeah, you look like it.
Man,
Look at this.
This guy, dude.
You done had a lot of everything too. You just don't your metabolism different.
if I was at a Christmas party and I go back and only get one cake,
Yeah.
like one more,
Can people hear?
Zach's.
Can people hear you?
You gonna get Zach's.
it'd be Fred's.
Oh,
That's what
oh,
And I hate that.
Yes! Yes!
oh, so close, Zach.
Every day.
Dude, Fred, who taught you how to bet?
That's why I said I don't believe it's him, man.
Dude, Fred, who
my
taught you how
God.
to bet?
Zach, I don't even believe it's
grandma.
him. I think it's
Right.
somebody
Grandma
else.
and my
getting-
mama.
I think it's somebody doing this for
No, I used to
Fred,
hang
you
in the
do-
kitchen. You know I'm an only child.
Yeah.
So I used to hang in the kitchen with my mom, and my mama always said this: I want you to learn how to cook so you can take care of yourself. You know,
can't
mamas
eat-
don't want you to
I
ever
can't
settle
eat
down
lunch
with a
today.
woman.
Y'all done gave me all this sweets, man. I can't even eat lunch.
Well, yeah, he'll be riding his bike on 28 later, people. If y'all ride down 28, that's Santana riding his 10-speed.
Fred, it's a good cake, man.
I'm gonna go drown myself in the rest of this cake.
No, it's a really good cake.
It feels so good.
Thank you guys so much for joining. We should
thank you.
continue to do this
Yeah,
having
anytime
such a
Zach
good
want to
time.
call me out, I'm here.
next season.
I gotta
Yeah,
pick
right.
the win eventually.
Is this the last show of the new year? No, we got one more. We got one more show next year. Okay. All right. So thanks so much. Make sure you guys tune in on Friday for the preview show. And if you like this show, please make sure you like and subscribe wherever you get your content. Thanks so much for listening.
I'm about to open up a bakery.
At Bet365, we don't do ordinary. We believe every sport should be epic. Right now, new customers can choose between two offers when they open any account at Bet365. Use the QR code to sign up. Deposit $10 and choose between either first bet safety net offer by placing a bet up to $1,000. And if your qualifying bet loses, you receive a match refund in bonus bets. Or bet and get offer and place a bet of $5 or more and get $150 in bonus bets. Whatever the sport, whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365, official sports betting partner of the Washington Commanders. Must be 21 or older and physically located in Virginia. Please gamble responsibly. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem and wants help, call 1-800-GAMBLER.